So we're doing something a bit different today. We're not looking at some new BMW or Mazda. We're looking at what I think is the future of mobility. It's this guy, the Vanmoof S3 e-bike, and it's pretty sweet. It's something like a Tesla combined with an Ikea chair. I mean, it's loaded with tech and it looks really good too. I have this thing for a week and I'm gonna see how it handles my commute as well as some San Francisco hills. Should be interesting. Oh yeah, and there's a turbo here. No forced induction though, it's something else, and we'll get into that. It's the best part about this bike. All right, let's get into some details first. The bike costs $1,998. With how great it looks, you would think it would cost $4,000. You can see that a lot of attention to detail went into this thing, and I appreciate that. It just looks really great. The 250 to 350 watt motor is tucked inside the front wheel. The battery lives hidden inside the exoskeleton of the down tube and has a 504 watt-hour capacity. The battery takes 80 minutes to charge up to 50% and 4 hours for 100%. No throttle here. The Vanmoof S3 only operates as a pedal assist. You're still working, and I like that. It just feels like you times 2. The estimated range is between 37 to 93 miles, depending on what level of assist you're at, and how often you're using the turbo. There's a matrix display on the top tube near the handlebars that displays the bike's status, assist level, gearing position, and speed. Simple, great idea, but difficult to see in our sliding. I even had to shoot this in the shade to see it. Lastly, it's fitted with front and rear LED lights, which means you're set to ride right out of the box. So this bike is a big bike. Vanmoof says it fits people who are 5'8 to 6'8, and I'm 5'10 and it's a little bit big for me. If you're a shorter rider, I would definitely look at their other model, the X3, which is pretty cool looking too. On here we have the 28-inch Schwab Big Bends, and they are delightful. They can tackle anything, on-road and off-road. This bike weighs about 42 pounds, which isn't bad considering it's an electric bike. When I picked it up to go into my apartment, it was quite easy. The weight is distributed equally, so I didn't have any problems. So it's quite easy to manage, except the bars are wide, so they're hard to get indoors. The weight does feel good on the road though. I have confidence at speed and in cornering. The only time you feel the weight when you're riding though is when you stand up over the front wheel where the motor is. But that's something you're not going to do very often. Oh yeah, and this thing is an automatic. Something I'd be quite bummed about if I was getting into, say, an E36. But here, it's nice and smooth. The gears change quite effortlessly. The only time I had a problem with it was when I was climbing a hill. It would click and clack a little bit, but as I found my rhythm, it found its rhythm too. You can change your gearing, and that's something I did do, and it did help. And that's all done in the app. What's really cool about this bike is you can connect it to your phone through the Vanmoof app. You can check your battery status, find your bike in the city, as well as lock and unlock your bike. Jumping over to My Rides, you can check how far you rode, your average speed, maximum speed, battery spent, as well as stops. Here on the settings page, you can dial in your gearing, change your light status, and change your horn sound. Listen to this horn, it's really bad. Oof, not good. You can also set up a backup unlock code. That's where you manually punch in a code to unlock your bike just in case you don't have your phone. You can also set up your alarm. So if the bike is bothered at all, the alarm will sound. It almost sounds like a cougar. It's really funny. It's pretty intimidating, but I think it needs to be louder. Just in case your bike does get stolen though, you can track it through the app. You just have to connect with Vanmoof. They also have a program called Theft Defense. That's where Vanmoof will help you find your bike with a group of bike hunters. It costs $340 at purchase, and if they don't find your bike, they'll replace it. With an aged one, but they'll still replace it. But would I leave this guy outside? Probably not. It's coming in with me. All right, so now's the time we get into the turbo. We're coming up to a stop sign with a little hill afterwards. Perfect opportunity to try it. All right, start to pedal here, engage the turbo. Ah yeah, and it really starts to move. It's almost like the bike got shot up with some adrenaline. You can really hear the motor here. Usually you can't hear it. I said before that this bike is usually ×2U, but here with turbo it's like ×3. Oh, squeezing through. Oh yeah, I love it. best part about this bike. My overall experience with the turbo has been good. Gets you up to 20 miles an hour quickly, and you're kind of keeping up with city traffic, which is nice. It's actually really nice when you're battling some headwind. Hate that headwind, it's the worst. But I want more turbo. Please give me more turbo. Más turbo, por favor. What I really enjoyed about this bike this week is that it opened up the city for me. I was able to go further and explore more. The S3 tackled the hills quite well. I would hardly break a sweat. I also saved about 11 minutes on my commute, so that means 11 more minutes of sleep for this guy. I just wish they would make a smaller frame. Their other model, the X3, is cool, but I like this styling a little bit more. What stands out to me the most is the tech, the price, and the design. It's hands down the best looking e-bike out there. Vanmoof has created a beautiful and capable machine, and it's well worth your money. But now, it's time for me to take off the fenders. While you're here, be sure to like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video. I had a great time making it, and thanks for watching. Hi Mom, bye Mom.